Hello, everyone. This is Tom, your host for the Hidden Truths channel. How's everybody doing this evening? I hope you're doing well. Well, tonight we're going to have a recap. The live stream is going to be a recap of an interesting week we had. Everything from the Brown College and the MIT professor with an awesome speech from a motivating speech from the president, right? So that's what we're going to discuss. The eventful weekend. This is supposed to be the holidays, right? We're supposed to be seeing pictures of kids lined up, sitting on Santa's lap, telling them what they want for Christmas and stuff. Anybody seen videos like that yet? I haven't. You know, the lighting of the Christmas tree at the White House. Did they ever have that? I don't remember hearing that or seeing that. But they sure do have a lot of Hanukkah type stuff going on there in DC, don't they? Grandma ran over a liberal reindeer because I tell you what, YouTube for some reason doesn't like that. You know, crazy time. That's one thing. I never want to go viral, so I guess YouTube will always prevent that from happening. But I tell you what, I wrote that in about 10 minutes. It was crazy. I came up with the chorus, and the rest of it just fell into place. I know it was pretty. I need, if it does take off, I will do a better version of it because, like I say, it took me to get that done because I'd always make a mistake right at the end. I kind of made a mistake on that, but I wasn't going to start over. But yeah, hey, we got to support these people. And like I say, maybe I need to use a different type of style or method in my buffering. Well, keep me informed. Tell me if it goes down to a 3x5. I tell you what, YouTube just hates it. God, I'm just a little guy. I got a little audience. Although by the end of January, I should be well over 1 million views. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Over 1 million views on this channel. Crazy time. And I only got not even views that YouTube has taken from me. I'd be well over 1 million views now. YouTube's taken at least 200 to 250,000 views away from me, along with subscribers. You know, like these last couple of days, I just watched my totals go backwards and stuff. I'm telling you, actually, real time, watching the totals go backwards. Anyway, but this is YouTube. This is okay. First, the E-list, I'm going to wait on the Epstein list because is anybody surprised? I did a short video, still buffering. What do you think, J99? Should I get off and try to reboot, get a different? I don't understand this. The thing is, this is what happens when people start showing up. Okay? Just like if I get like the grandma ran over the liberal reindeer, it starts taking off, and the analytics are just great, and then they just, analytics that anybody else would love to have. And I'm not talking just the likes and the comments and stuff. I'm talking the duration rate of them are 150, some 200% duration rate where they're watching the stuff twice. Okay, and the engagement, that one engagement on the one of the grandma ran over the reindeer, whatever, is 85%. 85%. No, that one's 75. I got another video out there that's running 85, and they won't put it on. This is the stuff you deal with YouTube. Still buffering, still buffering. Am I still buffering, J99? Anyway, but let's get on with the subject. Let's talk about first the Brown professor that he had a 25-year-old grudge against him. They're both Portuguese, I guess, and And the thing is, this MIT professor must have showed him up at Brown College, and he held a 25-year grudge. And something about a homeless guy that lived at the school in one of the buildings. They let him live there. He's a graduate. No matter a college graduate that's homeless that lives on the college campus. Imagine that. But anyway, and he identified in the person and stuff. So, he's going to get a nice reward. Hopefully he doesn't decide to go back to college with that money. Anyway, so, and then the guy shot himself, and we're never going to hear the truth on it. But this is how incompetent the FBI is. I mean, that guy it was in a different state, New Hampshire, I think. So he had crossed state lines. They had no idea who he was. Anyway, this is our FBI. But don't worry. They're not going to get the list for the Epstein list figured out either. Hey, if you like the content, please hit the thumbs up, the subscribe, and the bell notification. And anything to help support the channel, I'd appreciate it. Tang Gang 4242. Absolutely. Hello, how you doing? Appreciate you being here tonight. But anyway, we're never going to hear the truth on the Brown shooter, MIT, professor, killer, whatever. He shot himself, ended his life. Unless we hear he shot himself twice in the back of the head to commit suicide. Hey, Jeff, how's it going? Good to see you. Happy Friday to you guys too. Am I still buffering, or can I get a 5x5? Make sure everything's going good. I tell you what, this weekend I'm going to do a live stream on my computer, and I'll send out notifications probably 4 or 5 hours before the live stream. I don't know if it's going to be Friday or Saturday or Sunday, and then I can do it on my computer and maybe get some people to come in that way and stuff. Cool. I got a 5x5. Anyway, but the Brown College is going to be like the Charlie Kirk, just like the Kennedy assassination, just like the Lincoln assassination. Okay? There's always going to be more questions than answers. But I just don't understand if this MIT professor was the target now. Why the hell did he go to the Browns University and shoot that place up with students that were there, weren't even alive when he went there? Doesn't make much sense, okay? At all. Why he would just go there and shoot that up. Anyway, tragedy, just more Americans that have died. Look how many Americans have died due to violence since Thanksgiving, or just before Thanksgiving, with that one National Guard member. I don't even know if the other National Guard member, if he passed away or not. But just great holidays, right? But yeah, the Brown College thing, crazy time. I tell you what, all you people that live in the big city, you're braver than me. I like being safe out here in flyover country. You people that live in those big cities, like I say, have the show Survivor, throw me on an island somewhere. You won't see me till the show's over. Throw me in the middle of New York City, I'll be scrambling to get out of that frickin' place. Anyway. One thing I want to pass on. Another channel, and then I forget it off the top of my head. Anyway, it's an older guy. I should put it down somewhere, but it's a good channel. Getting off the subject. Stay with the subject, Tom. All right. Bombing Syria. Boy, he just started that. That just came out a couple hours ago. Bombing Syria tonight. 50 targets or 50 sorties were flown or whatever. 50 targets were hit. I don't know how many sorties would have been flown. I'm assuming you'd have 3 or 4 going to each target. but to avenge the two Iowa National Guards people that were killed with their interpreter. My question is, in J99, you can contest to this. Why do we have National Guard guys doing that? The difference, if you don't know, between the National Guard and active duty, we do it every freaking day. We got the complete military mindset instead of somebody who practices 1 week in a month or 2 weeks a year. I don't understand why these type of people, the National Guard, is in Syria. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. I don't care what their MOS is. If you got to go to a National Guardsman instead of an active duty military in basically a war zone, okay, I don't know, sounds like patsies to me or something, okay? There's a difference between National Guard and active duty military. There's a difference. Okay? It's not like you sit there and get off work and you live in the barracks and, oh my God, I don't have to think military. No, you go to the chow hall, come to the barracks, go to the E-Club, go to the gym and work out, fitness center, go work out, whatever the case may be. You never leave the damn base. You never stop being military. National Guard isn't like that. We train every day for learning something new. Just not to put down on National Guard, but I don't understand why they're there. But anyway, now we're bombing Syria again. Remember when he first took office in 2017? Took office in January and he's bombing Syria in April already with Tomahawk missiles, which only about not even half of them got through. Remember that? You seen Trump gave all active military a bonus check by Christmas. Terrorists paid for it. Yeah, I really, I'm glad he gave them because, in the military, you just don't have a lot of money. And that's going to help a lot, especially those married guys out, okay? If they get to go on leave and go home, it's going to make it a little bit more enjoyable and stuff. Believe me, when I was in, that type of money would have went a long while. When I was in, and I first got to the fleet, putting my life on the line, I got paid $253 twice a month. Yeah. Pay's gone up a little bit since then. Our daughter received that pay. Oh, they're not going to give it to them on payday? Were they cutting special checks or something? Thought they'd wait till payday and just put... Anyway, well, I suppose the military, they're all on direct deposit. Well, we had to be on direct deposit. They finally required it because when we go deploy overseas and stuff, and this would have been in 87, they required everybody to be on it. But, if you, obviously you were, when you pull into another country, just before you got to another country, you would go to, because we still had our checkbooks, and you'd write a check on ship to, and they'd have all the foreign money and stuff, and you could sit there, write a check, get the foreign money on the ship before. Anyway, things were a lot different back then. It's direct deposit. Yeah. Well, good. Well, time to... The thing is, anyway, I'm glad they finally did something for them. Hopefully it's not hopefully it's not like a thank you before things get the fire, the old flares go up and the action starts. That's a thing that's been going in the back of my head too. Kind of a thing to sit there and anyway. Because I think things are going to get rough. I don't see 2026 being a year of peace at all. Okay? But anyway, now we're bombing Syria. Cool. Didn't he just have the Syrian leader who was a terrorist killing American soldiers after 9/11 with the war on terror, brought into the White House with honors? And now we're bombing Syria. That was, what, 3 weeks ago? Maybe 4? And now we're bombing Syria. Yep. I guess he didn't get to bomb Venezuela because, see, he can't get the American people behind him for the Venezuela war. Only 20% support it. So he can't just sit there and start bombing Venezuela. The best thing for Venezuela is the American public never gets behind that war. And, but, if I heard Venezuela, now, we can sit there and act like a bunch of pirates and seize any ship we want, and Venezuela's going to sit there and protect its shipping. What you need to do during a time of war, well, it could get a little ugly. They're trying to provoke them to do something. Okay, they would not love nothing better than one of Venezuela's F-16s to create something so they could say it created an incident. Anyway, so, did you hear that some places are canceling New Year's celebrations because of, what happened in Australia? Places like Tokyo. And I think one was Budapest. Was that in Belgrade? And Paris, France. Times Square is still going on. This is the thing. In the world we live in today, you want to get in a crowd of 1 million people where, it's dangerous, okay? We're at war, people. And Americans still think instead of solving the problem and eliminating it, we're just going to deal with the problem and go on as life as usual. Now, I hope nothing happens anywhere in the world on the rest of the holidays. Like I say, we got the weekend coming up. If you are going shopping at the mall or wherever, and this is the thing too, the weather's going to be freaking beautiful. So you can have the cold weather keeping them in. People are going to be feeling relaxed because the weather's going to be great and stuff. Situational awareness, people. Situational awareness. Let's see if we can get through the rest of the holidays without having a mass shooting, and not even a shooting. What if they decide to drive their car through just always have the exits well in your mind how to get away. And like I say, if they start shooting, don't run. Hit the deck and just lay still. Okay, they shoot at shit moving. If they're shooting indiscriminately, they're shooting at things that are moving most of the time. Then again, we're talking about crazy people and they may not act too normal. But anyway, it's just everybody stay safe. No matter what your political affiliation, I don't care. Stay safe. We've had enough people pass away because of violence in the last few weeks. Anyway, but yeah, they're canceling New Year's celebrations. Can you imagine no fireworks in Paris and that stuff on New Year's Eve? Or are they going to sit there and shut the Eiffel Tower off too? Good point, Saber. I missed that one. And I'm curious how Dearborn, Michigan will be with Christmas with all the Muslims there. Oh, when I sat there and had to, a couple weeks ago when I had to watch that video of that fucking piece of shit mayor dressing down that American citizen that went to the city council and he was going to school them. Oh, I'm telling you. If our war with Muslims start out, that's where it's going to start out. People have had enough. And The average American doesn't know what the citizen in Dearborn, Michigan's going through. Hell, they got their fucking signs written in their language now. They want to fly their goddamn flag. It's stupid. Like I say, they're invaders. Immigrants, they're not immigrants. Immigrants come here to assimilate to the culture and become Americans and want to make America better because of what America was when they got there. Invaders come here to take over our country. And look it, we got a city they took over. Now we got a mayor, Muslim communist mayor of New York, who Trump says, I'd move to New York. I'm telling you, like I say, I don't know if you live in a populated J99 or you, Jeff, or you live isolated like me, okay, and you feel the freedom like I do, okay, the average American has no clue. They're not willing to sacrifice any convenience at all to feel the freedom and liberty in your pursuit of happiness like you do. And you're just in the way of them. It's crazy how people are thinking. Social justice warriors back them up as well. Yep. I'm friends with several legal immigrants. They're unhappy with all these illegal immigrants causing mass all over, all Western Colorado. Hey, I got a buddy from the Marine Corps. He's Mexican, lives in California. He can't stand, like he says, he calls them fucking wetbacks. So what's he mean? He's racist against his own race? No. You know, he's a homeowner in California and sees how it's destroying everything. Yeah, legal immigrants, because like I say, I want to be an American. I understand why America is so great, but I understand I got to do my part when I become as an immigrant and when I become a citizen to continue making the country great. I'm not here to take advantage of it. I'm here to help it out, do my part, and pursue my happiness. See, that's one reason this country was so great, because people could come from all over the world and be part of the American experiment. Be able to pursue their happiness with a government that protected their freedom and their liberty and their right to pursue their happiness and not be interfered by your neighbor or the government. That's what made this country so great. A bunch of people from everywhere else in the world that had the same mentality. Like I say, the American mentality didn't start. It's when we started the colonies. No, it started in Europe before anybody ever came over here, with people that had had enough of the fucking government and wanted something else so bad that they would get on a ship for 3 or 4 months that didn't even know if they were make to land on a coast that definitely didn't have no modern conveniences. But hey, you want a house? There's a bunch of trees. Go cut them down. You want a well? Here's a shovel. Go dig it. You want to eat? Take your rifle and go kill something. Instead of the modern conveniences they had in Europe at the time. And then what did those people do? Those people turned the backwoods that they sent criminals to and turned it into a flourishing community. You know, the colonies were around for well over 100 years before the Revolutionary War. And that's not what, 4, 5, 6 generations to sit there and turn nothing but forest into a thriving, money-making thing that the king wants to get his greedy little fucking hands on. That's the American spirit we need again. But hey, I have it on this channel. What do I get told? I get told I need to relax and settle down. I get social media that won't even push my stuff. Whatever. See, this is the thing. Eventually, it's, The genie's out of the bottle. People are pissed. And this they shut me down, right? I tell you what, you get some of those women cashiers, some of their videos, they're pissed. They're the average working man who sits there and goes to work in the morning and finally makes a video and puts it on social media because he's so fucking pissed that he can't make it. He's like, what's the point of all this shit? Everybody's hurting. That's why when this social media platform sits there and tries to make it that nobody wants to listen to me, yeah, right. Because I'm just one of tens and hundreds of millions in this country that feel like we're not taken seriously, that our lives don't matter. We pay for everything and we suffer the most. And as a white, heterosexual, Christian, Bible thumping, clinging to my guns and Bible white male, I feel it. That's just the truth. Saber, what'd you say? I'm working, I'm making my own small business. It's hard work, but I'm loving every minute of it. It's a woodworking business that I have a portable. You have a portable sawmill, dude. You know what my small business is? I am a tree trimmer. I got, we're called Vintage Tree Service because it's just me and another guy. I can't find new guys, but oh my God, when I used to be, especially up in Minnesota doing trees, and we'd sit there and where they're going to put power lines in and we'd clear under where the power lines were going. I'm talking oak, big oak, straight pieces, just trashed. I mean, so much. You know, I took industrial art, woodworking, 7th through 12th grade. I even made a croquet set, the balls and everything. I love doing lathe work. But a sawmill, I love to have a sawmill, especially, you know, up there in Minnesota. You know why? You know what? My house is well over 100 years old. Made of rough cut lumber from back then. And this house is still going to stand for another 200 years. The lumber looks perfect. You get a house actually made of 2x4s and 2x8s and 2x6s and 2x10s, rough cut. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's why they don't use that stuff no more. Because now, hey, Trump wants that 50-year mortgage. Good. So after you pay your house off, they got to bulldoze it because it's falling over, and then you get to build a new house, and then, you know, you'll be dead. 50-year mortgage, yep. The economy's doing so good that it takes 50 years to pay off a house now. I mean, I haven't got into a speech yet, okay? Anyway, okay, that was about cities canceling New Year's Eve celebrations. Okay, should we talk about the E-list right away? Make it so my channel starts buffering. Watch. We'll see if the channel starts buffering. Let's talk about the Epstein list. Hey, did everybody happy with the results of what was released today? I mean, I love a picture of Bill Clinton in a hot tub, right? But the one he's in there with is redacted. And then none of these pictures show a crime. Then why is it redacted? See, this is the thing, people. I made a video months ago, when Trump first got into office, why they cannot release the Epstein list. This goes worldwide, all businesses, the power vacuum that it would create all over the world. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't have to be happen. It does have to happen. But I'm just telling you what it would create. You're talking Hollywood. You're talking CEOs of all companies. You're talking royalty. You're talking all governments, except probably Putin's probably not on it. Xi Jinping's probably not on it. Kim Jong-il's probably not on it. You see a pattern here? It'll bring the Western nations down. Okay? You guys wonder why Trump can't release this shit? He's got princes from the king of Saudi Arabia. He's got Netanyahu. He's got all these people, elite people all over the world. And then we're talking about people that we don't even know exist in this world. Where you'd see that name and you may recognize the last name, but you ain't going to know who it is. You ain't going to know the first name. But this needs to happen. Because the thing is, it's just going to keep going on. And one thing I like to say about the list, wasn't it a hoax? Wasn't it all a hoax? A Democrat made-up hoax that they said during the election they were going to release. Anyway, sounds like somebody might have been lying. But anyway, so they let out some of the pages. The thing is, okay, how long have they had this information? Since 2019. 6 years. And you're telling me now they got that much, after 6 years, they're still redacting information? I mean, the thing is, with all these people that have pictures with him, all these famous elites, and none of them all of them are going to say they didn't know what he was doing. Bullshit. All I know is we had Clinton and Trump's first presidency that knew what he was doing and did nothing about it to protect the American people. Nothing to protect children in America. 2 presidents. One we got now. Anybody want to argue that point? Anybody? Good night, Saber. I'm glad you were here. Got to deal with the kids. They're sick, unfortunately. Take care, chat, and take care, Mr. Hidden Truth. Stay safe. Yeah, I appreciate it. I tell you what, I need to be watching the chat more, but I get into what I have to say because this stuff is getting crazy. But we're never going to see, the thing is, if they're not hiding anything, then why are they redacting everything? Why can't we know who's involved? Why no names? I mean, are you kidding me? Does this happen to the average other normal guy? No. I mean, like I say, the average normal guy can't commit the crimes these people are committing because, number one, you're not powerful enough, you're not in the right position, and you're not rich enough. This is a special class of crimes, people. And you're not part of the club. It never will be. This is going to take, the Nuremberg trials. Why'd they have that like that? Because it was a special type of prosecution. Court proceedings, special. Crimes against humanity. That's not, I'm going to court for chicken thieving, okay? Or even murder. This crimes against humanity. And this is the same thing. This could involve the Pope for crying out loud. The Catholic, we know it involves the Catholic Church. How far up and who all? This is the thing, people. The only way we're going to get the list released is if we go to Washington ourselves and get it. Otherwise, we ain't going to see shit. And believe me, if we started taking over where those files were at, they would be destroying them big time. Obviously, somebody's being protected in the country or in the world. And it sure the hell isn't you now, is it? So anyway, good luck on the list, folks. These people are not going to tell on themselves. Like I say, that picture of Bill Clinton in that hot tub with the picture of the person that's redacted, you know what I think it was? All these children that disappear in this world, right? Where do they go? Let's say that would have been a child that disappeared and that photo were to get out. And the grieving parent who will never forget what their child looks like would see that. See, this is the thing, people, and that's nothing. All the children that have disappeared and whatever happened to them, and these people are connected to it, all the parents of these children that have fallen victim to these people that, they found this out all over a matter of a week. You couldn't make a prison safe enough for these fucking criminals. It would be stormed, and these people would be beheaded. They would pay for the crimes they committed. Okay? This mama bear would go off. Yep. I don't expect them to release it. Yeah, they're going to release it with a bunch of black covered up. Here, you got the page number there. Be lucky you got that. Bunch of shit, people, bunch of shit. But like I say, wasn't that all a hoax? They're releasing a hoax now. I mean, boy, talk about back and forth on the damn subject, okay? Whew. Anyway, one thing I want to talk about too, a real quick note. After Trump's speech, gold and silver went down yesterday, which I expected because to me it was just nothing but a Nazified fucking Hitler-esque fucking speech to sit there and rally the base. Okay? It reminds me of stories when generals would sit there and say they went to see Hitler to tell him that the fucking situation was FUBAR and they needed to do peace. Came back 2 days later, these generals and field marshals said, my God, everything's great. Everything's great. I see how we're going to win. 2 days later, all that was gone. But hey, that's what Trump did. Excited the base. But silver's above 67 and a half, I think. Okay? Yeah. I mean, just like gold and silver, they keep going up every day. 3, 4, 5% every day. Well, gold, not so much anymore because, gold's got to go up a lot now to go up 5%, but it keeps going up 20, 25, 30 bucks every day. The thing is, there's going to become a psychological breaking point for the financial system in this country. And when gold hits that point, okay, to the point where, if silver, now anything could happen, but I don't see this bull market in the metals going down because our government keeps printing money. And the thing is, nobody has any money left. But when gold hits, what is a psychological threshold? 5,000? No, I don't think that's it. 6,000? Maybe 8,000? Possibly even 10,000? When people realize that. Can you imagine? I don't know if a lot of you have seen this. I used to be middle class and have money in the bank. And, I used to be able to take large sums out at times. But you got a fresh, brand new stack of $100 bills. $10,000 right there. And all that buys you is an ounce of gold. What do you think that's going to do to the confidence in the financial system for everybody, not just for the credit markets? Everybody. Anyway, just a note, people, things aren't getting better. Things are getting worse and worse on every front. And now we're bombing Syria. Woo! It's amazing they do that on a day that they're supposed, instead of releasing the Epstein list, we bomb Syria. That sounds like a good trade-off, huh? Anyway, 40 minutes into it already. Yeah, this don't take long, does it? Hi, YouTube. I wonder if the FBI is watching tonight. That's the thing. That I have had more than once. More than once I've had more than 300 of my videos being watched within 1 hour. And there's been quite a few times where it's been over 100, over 200. But 2 times over 300 different videos of mine being watched in 1 hour. I'm watching this. I'm like, holy shit. Now you tell me what you think that is. Now normally you'd think, oh boy, you must have got a subscriber. Nope. But it was definitely somebody who was, 300 videos. That had to be over 300 videos. That's more than one person. Let's just say I would say an organization was very interested in my content. This is a country we live in, where somebody who lives out in flyover country in a county that has less than 2,000 people in it and has a very, very tiny YouTube channel can be so threatening. But then again, all Jesus had was 12. Not compare myself to Jesus. But I'm just saying how one person can make a difference with just a few people that, like I say, hopefully on YouTube, I reach the right person that is that person. Because I realize I'm too rough around the edges. I can't help it. Like I say, I'm a Marine ready to lock and load, baby. Say, I belong in a foxhole, not behind a desk. Just in some people, okay? Everybody's got their job in the service. If you're defending your country, whether you're supplying, whether you're growing the food, whatever, or you're actually the one fighting. Everybody's purpose is just as important as the next guy. It's just the next guy may have a different job, but it doesn't make the other person's job any less important. Okay? Oh, if you're handicapped and you want to sit there when this all fires off, and you want to be in a position to help out the cause, your participation is very important. See, this is what I'm saying. We need to start organizing. We need to start showing the government, not in private, so the government knows it's going on. So they know people are starting to get pissed. And yeah, we may have a few sacrificial lambs at first, and I don't mean by getting killed, but by getting jailed, political prisoners, but we will storm the Bastille. I could be one of the sacrifices. But see, we need to do something to show them we have had enough. I mean, all you people that have children that are draft age, would you rather send them overseas to fight for a bunch of politicians who don't give a shit about them or you, except to keep the military industrial complex going and the elites happy? Or would you rather have them organized now into the well-regulated militia to save a country that their future is connected to? Charlie was the first sacrifice. Yep, we'll never know the truth on that. There's so many questions about that. Who's the next one going to be? Tucker Carlson? Could you imagine being Candace Owens, especially the way she's rattling cages? Tucker Carlson? These people are brave. I mean, if I had their clout or their audience, I'd probably be I'd be like this all the time. Hey, Trump, Biden, Schumer, who was that? Johnson, all you fuckers, up your ass. Time for Americans to take America back. Boy, if I had a platform like that, I would have my 4 million man, well-regulated militia training outside D.C., wouldn't I? See, I don't care no more. I'm not going to live as a slave, and I'm not going to call an apple an orange because that's what the government says it is. And I'm not afraid to fucking tell these screwballs that. I mean, this is what happens when they turned me from a civilian into a Marine. And even during Reagan years, I'm a Reagan Marine, okay? I'm going to look at injustice and say, fuck you. And I never realized that our country could have domestic enemies. But now I realize it can. And those domestic enemies we have are causing a lot more damage and are more pressing. I mean, we get rid of our domestic enemy, we may not have a lot of geopolitical international enemies. Because say the U.S. is fucking up a lot of shit. Epstein. Oh, you just get it? I talked about Epstein, okay? The list ain't going to be released because it'll bring the whole world down. It'll create a power vacuum in governments, royalty, churches, businesses, Hollywood, everywhere. But see, this is one thing I want to say about the Epstein. We need to bring it out because these people need to be punished, brought to trial and punished, whatever their punishment is. Because it may send us into the dark ages temporarily, but it will cleanse us. It'll be a lot easier to come out of the dark ages when these evil fucking bastards are out of the way. All of them. From the Rockefellers, the big names. Who's the one that not Carringtons, but anyway, you know what? I really don't care. The big names, the fucking ones behind the scene. You know, the ones that make Alex Soros and George. Alex Soros, what a piece of shit. Look like a little guy. I'm talking the big sons of bitches. You want to get rid of the cancer, we got to go after the people we don't even know exist. Okay? The ones that call our presidents up and our leaders up in the middle of the night, the ones they absolutely have to get up for the call for so they can get fucking chewed out. They're bosses. Okay? We just need to go up the line. Because in today's world, and if you elites are listening to this, there's nowhere to hide. You are surrounded by a bunch of hicks that when the ball drops, well, sure won't want to be in the target of somebody, a mob with pitchforks and torches. You know, your bunker's not going to save you. It's just going to become a coffin. But, you know, all evil must come to an end. These are the same families that caused the First World War. These are the same families that caused the Second World War. And these are the same families that are financing all the death and destruction all over the world. Okay? Anyway. Well, you know, I may not be right all the time, but, you know, like I say, I have a different way of looking at things. You know, when you don't look at it through the lens of a red lens or a blue lens, you look at it through the lenses of our founding fathers did with both lenses, in the spirit of what the time when our founding documents were written, before they fucking sat there and decided to, you know, go full on war with the British, okay, after the Declaration of Independence, that document and the, you know, the founding documents and stuff, I think about how they felt and thought about when they were written. Not the way these people interpret it nowadays, where you got every modern convenience. Life is easy. You got the government giving people a lot of people money, half of them not even American citizens. You know, our founding fathers were dead set against social services in any way. Like I say, they created a government where you had liberty, freedom, and you could pursue your happiness without interference from anybody else or the government. They gave us that instead of social services. They gave you freedom instead of social services. And nobody understands how great that gift is. And when you're willing to give it up for conveniences and a check from the government, well, this is where the government gets in the head that they can take it from all of us. But like I say, you don't want to live and experience what it's like to be human. That's fine with you. But, you know, this country was based on the human experience and experiencing it to the most of your ability. How's that, J99? I tell you what, you see those movies where, like Patton giving motivating speeches to his troops, or like An American Crisis by Thomas Paine. When just before Princeton and Trenton, and how it made the troops feel. Like I say, maybe your job is not to be is just to be the inspiration to the right person, not to be in the limelight. That's one thing I like about YouTube, making sure nothing of mine goes viral. Because I was afraid of that when I put that grandma ran over a liberal reindeer. I was afraid that one might get a little bit too much traction. And I'm glad they slammed down on that. Anyway, last thing is I want. But the thing is, I hope the lady that had to deal with the Target thing, the harassment, I hope she at least sees it and smiles and chuckles. Because you know what? Damn right. Damn right. Those ain't the elders that need to be disrespected. It's the freaking elders, these sons of bitches in D.C. that have been there 30, 40, 50 years that need to be disrespected, okay? We need more money for the military, in my opinion. What, $1 trillion plus isn't enough? Why does our military need more money if we're technically not at war? The way this country used to be, our defense budget was small when we were at peace. And when we go to war, we'd build up. But then again, we haven't relaxed our posture in military since December 7th, 1941. No, the military don't need more money. Our politicians need to stop pushing the rest of the world around, be a little bit more diplomatic, and remember that not everybody in the world thinks like a frickin' American. Some people don't like being free. Like us. We're not even free anymore. But some people don't understand that. But we want to go and push it around. Like I say, everybody says, I'm from the government, I'm here to help. Those are the worst words. What do you think it's like in another country? We're from the U.S., we're here to help. We just destroyed the country next to you, so we're here to help you. Sounds like a great time, doesn't it? Holy cow, 53 minutes into this already. Anyway, we're going to touch on Trump's speech a little bit because people YouTubers that I thought would definitely like it. I mean, it was a no-go, okay? Everybody saw for what it was. And, everybody's like, okay. A lot of that don't make sense. Prices are just collapsing, going down so fast. I mean, he made it sound like Americans have money to burn. And Americans don't even have money to sit there and pay their bills. But don't worry, your taxes are getting paid. The government gets your part of your check first. Number one. Well, the company takes, and the company still has it sent it in, which I guess some companies don't always do that. Is it chocolate milk or muscle milk? Where we need more money. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, this milk? Oh, see what I do, right? I buy a container, just like I do with my pop, too. I'll buy like a 20-ounce pop, and that's the same bottle I'll use. I'll keep dumping into that. And this chocolate milk because they don't like the strawberry milk they sell at the store. Stuff tastes absolutely freaking nasty. But I keep the bottle, and I just mix my milk. It's strawberry milk. Yeah. Anyway, when I used to work on the dairy farm, I love milk. I'd go to the bulk tank on my break with my cup, and I'd just sit there and fill my cup right out of the bulk tank. Oh, yeah. Had agreed strawberry milk. An odd beverage. Yeah, I know. But Mountain Dew and strawberry milk. It's healthy. A lot of sugar, but it's healthy. I got nice, strong bones. Anyway, but, Trump's speech was fiction, okay? DC safer, except if you're a National Guard member. He didn't say about the National Guard member. He just said DC's real safe now. About bringing peace to the Middle East. Wait a second. You just bombed Syria. You said you gave Israel, say, hey, they can bomb Iran if they can sit there and convince the rest of the world that they were behind that Australian Bondi beach shooting. Okay, that sounds like peace in the Middle East to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but whatever. I guess we all live in our own world, just like when old George Bush landed on that carrier and said, the Iraq war is over. Wait, a year later, it's still not over. 2 years later, it's still not over. Anyway, and wages are going up faster than inflation. And my thing to that is wages had to go up 50% just to sit there and be at where inflation's at now. But hey, it sounds good, right? And let's not forget about Trump's the new RX, man. Okay, so we're gonna have Obamacare and Trump RX. The reason I'm laughing is because does anybody realize how much of a crazy fucking world we live in? Like I say, we live in such a crazy world that this old man, this crazy ass Marine, is on YouTube trying to warn everybody, singing Grandma Ran Over a Liberal Reindeer as a Christmas carol. Okay, if this ain't the Twilight Zone that we're living in, I don't know. Because this sure ain't the way I thought I was going to be going into my senior years. Well, you J99, did you think when you were in the service back then, like me, that we were going to be dealing with this at our age? Never. I mean, like I say, I thought our country would have fixed its problems by now, and we'd be off to greener pastures. But nope, it's nuts. I'm 40. Oh yeah, it's nuts. Like I say, I'm 58. I went in the Marine Corps when Reagan was in office, and I came out when Bill Clinton was in office. And the thing is, when you're in the military, you kind of, I don't know, you don't pay attention to the civilian world because you're active military. You may know what I mean, J99. Your life revolves around the military. You may come home on leave, but I mean, I go home on leave. I go back to the base early. After a couple of days at home, I just had to be back on base. Anyway, but, you lived it. And then I got out. And you don't really follow the way the rest of the world's going because you're involved in a lot of the stuff. It's just everyday life. And then you get out, and I saw the political change in this country, and I'm like, holy shit, things are about to get crazy. Anyway. Now, one thing I want to bring up, too, I need to make a short about this. Everybody wants to blame the Democrats for Obamacare. That we got Obamacare and stuff, the affordable health care bill, right? The Affordable whatever bill it was called, right? But no, it's not the Democrats' fault. It did go to the Supreme Court, in front of the Supreme Court, and our Chief Justice Robert, our conservative Chief Justice Robert, was the deciding vote to tip it to it was a tax. So that's on the Supreme Court's shoulders. Not giving the Democrats a pass, but that's on the Supreme Court's shoulders. Anyway, Affordable Care Act, yeah. Remember that shit when Chief Justice Roberts, it's a tax. Okay, if it's a freaking tax, then why does the fucking thing have to be bailed out? What are you spending that money? Is it going to the slush fund just like the Social Security? That tax, that money's already long gone. I mean, the money you pay in Social Security now, this month, was spent 15 years ago. Just so everybody knows. That's how solvent that account is. Anyway, he's talking about illegals taking American jobs, right? And then it wasn't about a few months ago, he's talking about giving amnesty to illegal immigrants that were doing jobs that Americans didn't want to do. Well, I happen to be, I used to do one of those jobs, but in agriculture now, let me tell you, folks, if you don't know somebody, or you're a white American like me, older, you ain't going to get a job, because that's why they got all these H-1B visa workers in here, all the agriculture. Anyway, it's just a crock of a program, but he's talking about that. Get rid of the illegals. What about the H-1B visa workers, right? Open up 70 million jobs for Americans. All these people you want to kick off social services, which is right. Well, they need a job to go to, sir. And since you want to bring all these fucking foreigners in for entry-level jobs that they need to do, oh, that's right. You said Americans weren't capable of doing them. I'm so tired of presidents insulting me. What? My kids aren't capable, but Byron Trump is? I bet you your son is capable, isn't he? He's probably capable of doing any job. But us little Americans, you're not capable of even washing fucking dishes. I'm a hell of a lot more capable than Donald Trump could ever dream of fucking being. One reason? I'm not a narcissist with an ego fucking bigger than the stock market bubble. Okay, I don't have people telling me I'm Jesus Christ. I'm just a normal guy who learns every day and can't be bought with money, sex, drugs, or rock and roll. Like you. All these rich sons of bitches, believe me, on their deathbed, when they know they're dying and they only got a couple hours left, the only thing that goes through their mind is, I can't take it with me. I wasted my life away. Anyway, I know nobody breaking down the door. What's your job? Masonry? Yeah. But see, this is the thing. What, do I got a fly in my house? I'm telling you, this weather's unreal. I'm dealing with black flies again. Okay, I went horse riding in my T-shirt again today. I couldn't make a video during it because the wind was going too much. And next week it's supposed to be in the 60s. Oh, it's not normal. It ain't natural. And it won't rain. It's so dry. My allergies are just flipping out. Masonry sounds based. Yeah, all of us that do jobs. Masonry, the best I did is I sat there and hauled the block and stacked it up for the guy who was sitting there laying block, okay? He showed me and stuff, but, it wasn't like, it's not something you can sit there and do, and 5 minutes later, you're an expert at it. It's like any skill. lots of hours, and then all the different situations, whether it's cold out, hot out, wet out, dry out, sun's beating down on it. But everybody, when all this goes down, like gold is, I want to do a video about this, but it's getting to where silver, the simple man can't even buy silver anymore. And this is why you need to you need to learn skills, because the people that have the skills, the people that can do masonry, auto mechanics, if vehicles are still running, work agriculture. And I'm talking about going back to the horse pulling the plow. Skills of, now I can't drive my tractor no more because it doesn't run. I mean, skills of building a house. Me personally, I can build a house, shingle the house, side the house, do everything inside the house, wire it, have it, do all the plumbing and everything myself. This is one thing why I have sat there. The thing is with me and jobs, I'll do a job and I always go to master it. And after I master it, I get bored with it. Because my brain I always want to be more input, like number 5 is alive, need input. That's when my brain works. It gets extremely hungry to learn. That's why I love talking to really smart people that are intellectually stimulating. Okay? I guess maybe that's just the way you get when you get older. But I cherish those moments, okay? But I can build a nice birdhouse. I tell you what, this is what I'm saying. Learn skills. What do you got to do to build a house? You need a foundation. You need to know how to frame a house, and then it's putting the outside on, okay? Or framing it, putting the outside, the roof on, and you get the outside all done, shingling it, siding if you're going to side it. Or you need to learn to know the skills of how to build a log cabin or do a dugout too if you have to. Okay? But because a lot of these building materials, even if you were to build a small, let's say, 20 by 30 house, small house, just finding the materials for that would be hard. Anyway, and then plumbing and doing your own electric and stuff. You can have all the modern conveniences, plumbing and electric, and still live in an 18th century colonial style type setup where you have electric lamps, but you can still have running water. All you got to do is live next to a street that never freezes and use gravity-fed water. They do that a lot in the mountains. Running through some type of copper tubing through a fireplace or whatever, and you got hot water with a storage unit. I mean, it's not that hard. Dig your own septic without having to have an outhouse and stuff. It's just hard to find the materials it would be. But, as long as you're willing to sweat, get your hands dirty, and know how to use a shovel. Like I say, I still use a shovel. I still use a maul. I still use a push lawnmower. Still use a scoop shovel to shovel snow. Okay? I refuse to give in to technology. It's like I use an old wringer washer from the 50s. If I had to, I could hook up a bicycle mechanism for that. I got a video of that old wringer washer. I love my wash machine. That's why any woman gets interested in me, okay, let's go to my place. Walk through the porch and they'll see that wash machine. They'll say, like, you use that? And I'd be like, yeah, you will too. Well, I bet you they'll walk right back out of that porch. Anyway, it's my security from anybody who wants to be too interested. Anyway, but oh my God, I'm at 1 hour and 10 minutes already. Time flies when you're having fun. Appreciate everybody being here. I'm going to get out of here. And like I say, I'm going to do a live stream on my computer this weekend. I don't know exactly when because the weather's been the way it is. I do a lot of work outside. Like I say, I'm doing my spring cleaning in December. What I mean by cleaning up my grove and stuff, it's nuts. But anyway, I don't know when I'm going to do it. So, but I'll put a notification out. I'll schedule it. When I schedule it, I'll schedule it about 5 hours before I go live, and that way it should come up. And I want to start doing them on my computer, see how it goes on that. But yeah, I appreciate everybody being here. Like I say, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and the bell notification. And please check out my video. Grandma ran over a liberal reindeer. I mean, can you believe that, J99? Almost makes me feel like I'm creative. See, this is the reason why I want to get into doing a skit show like Red Green, because I feel I could be successful at that. But production costs, people, and that would take up between writing, directing, producing, and getting the people to get it. Just, you're talking 16 hours a day. I need to be making money on YouTube, Ella. Yeah, I tell you what, I could make a lot of people laugh. And I feel, see, you got the message in the song too. It was funny, but it was done, how they use tact. It was done in a tactful way so people would understand. And this is the thing, I can't believe that thing hasn't at least got 50,000 views yet. Okay? But maybe I should put it on Facebook, redo it, and put it on Facebook. Because that lady, hopefully she gets enough money so she never has to endure that before in life. And she was so polite about it. Have a nice day, ma'am. Just kept saying, have a nice day. Smile on her face. After she was called fucking stupid and all this, a racist and shit. I know I wouldn't have handled it that way. Believe me, I would have gave her something on her fucking phone that would have went viral too. But it wouldn't have been by, have a nice day, ma'am. Like I said, I was writing that song, and it's just like, I'm telling you, J99, it was like I couldn't write the words down fast enough. It's just like, oh, and then I was like, two verse. I need another verse, and I wrote that last verse in about 45 seconds. So, maybe it was, somebody else who was trying to spread their rumor, their humor. But you know what happens when a Marine gets motivated? All I did is I saw the videos of that lady, and I was going to do a video about it. I was like sitting there, and all of a sudden, the song, I don't even remember what I was watching some show, probably a Western, one of my Western, either the Sackets or Gunsmoke. And Grandma got ran over by a reindeer. And then the chorus just popped into my head. It's like, poof! It's like, okay. And then, like I said, I got a tablet up and just, I couldn't write the shit down fast enough. So, whatever. Faster than AI and better than AI. This thing, people want all this AI. AI will never compete with human beings. Ever. There's a reason why we're so special on this planet. Because of human intuition. Humans be able to reason and, think of what might happen, predict the future in a way, and react accordingly and stuff. And all these AI robots and stuff. We got a bunch of elite so-called smart people trying to sit there, pretend they're God by creating a being in their image. Okay? Any of this sound familiar? But see, this being is not even close to their image. AI can never take the place of humans. AI will never know what it's like to be cold, hot, hungry. What it's like to have the desire to be free like me. They'll never understand none of that stuff. And if it does start to become self-aware, like I've warned mankind, it's not going to become self-aware as a wise old man. It's going to become self-aware as a spoiled, impetuous little 5-year-old in charge of nuclear weapons. Anyway, but everybody enjoy their holidays. Stay safe. You're going shopping? Stay safe. You're going to get into a crowd? Stay safe. We don't need any more victims in this country. We've already had enough so far this holiday season. Enough families are mourning. Wouldn't it be nice if we had, you know how you have at work, is one day since an accident, 365 days since an employee's had an accident? Wouldn't it be nice to start a thing that said, one day in the world without anybody being killed because of some other tyrant or people wanting to do bad to them? Everybody got along today for one day. My God, we made it 2 days and everybody got along. When the human race gets like that, then maybe I'll start having faith in it again. And maybe stop wanting to be a lone wolf and wanting to spend more time with my fellow man. Have a good night. Wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. Stay safe, everyone. Love on your family. Thank you for being here. And that's an exit. And I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate my moderators being here. Jeff and J99. Appreciate everybody being here. And thanks for helping the channel grow. And, stay safe out there and have a Merry Christmas. I can't wait till I have my prediction show on December 30th. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Everybody have a great night, and I'll see you all later. This is Tom with Hidden Truths. I'm out of here.